Texans at the Bills. Let's talk about this game here. The Bills are favored. They're at home. You got Tyrod Taylor, the ever-banged-up Tyrod Taylor, and Brian Hoyer, and the red-hot Texans. So what are the fantasy things to look for from the quarterback position in this game? Are either of these guys start-worthy?
No.
I think Hoyer is stream-worthy. I do. I wouldn't be afraid. I think there's better options than him, but I wouldn't start Taylor against the Houston defense that looks amazing. The Bills, they have not been that great a defense this year, and I think that the Texans can come out and win this game, and they could do it on the arm of Hoyer. So
yeah, Hoyer, he's not a terrible play, but there's just so many great streamers available this week. I can't imagine that Hoyer is the only one left on your wire. We've gone through all those guys like
I agree,
Cutler, Tannehill.
2 quarterback leagues. I think Hoyer's
Wilson,
a guy
Mariota.
Yeah, sure. Two quarterback league. Yeah, you're gonna.
He's going to be one of those guys that are the questions where it's like, hey, I might have somebody that I think is better, but I think you could throw on the Bills.
Yeah.
Now, Carlos Williams is still reportedly doubtful for this game.
Right. And I would say from the Bills, I talked about Watkins as my sit of the week. Now that once again, does a sit of the week mean that they're just going to do absolute nothing? No, I just think that he will be held in check as compared to what he did, especially compared to what he did last week. Really, the only Bills player I have confidence starting is LeSean McCoy. He still looks spectacular. With Carlos Williams being banged up, that's great news for McCoy. No Carlos Williams vulturing a touchdown. So Shady's getting it done through the air and on the ground. He's getting the yards. The problem was, can he get the touchdown to put him over the top to be a monster game? And Carlos Williams was a great obstacle in the way of McCoy doing that. But we saw last week that he got to score on that nice dump-off pass. So McCoy is even though the Texans are great on defense right now, I still play McCoy.
I want to
full confidence.
I want to give a little credence to your Sammy Watkins held in check point. The last 3 weeks for Houston, 197 yards through the air, 0 touchdowns against Cincinnati. 216 yards, 1 touchdown in Week 11. 228 and 0 against New Orleans. This is a passing defense that ranks number 3 in the league now, and they've obviously been winning games mostly from the defensive side. And so I'm with you. I think Watkins is somebody you start if you have to start him, but you're counting on one big play to somehow happen.
Exactly.
And he can do it because that's what great players do. But we're saying temper the expectation.
Yeah, and I think Tyrod Taylor's going to be just
Under
half
siege.
murdered. Yeah, I mean he's going to be hit a lot this game. So he's a guy I would steer way clear of personally.
Did you guys see the J.J. Watt trash talk quote that was coming out of the
No.
So J.J. Watt in the game was telling the Saints, he's like, you guys better find a new right tackle. He's like, I like Drew Brees. I don't like hitting him like this.
Oh, that's funny. Oh.
Yeah, that was not a good game for Mr. Brees. All right, so the Ravens head to Miami to play the Dolphins in the game of the week.
This one is very interesting.
This is my game of the week that I am excited to see. I actually messaged Mike yesterday and said that this is the game I'm the most interested to watch.
Because you are a Lamar Miller owner.
That is 100% the reason. I am very curious. Mike and I are on different sides. Mike has a gut feeling that Lamar Miller is bad news city for Lamar Miller right now with Ajayi coming in.
Free agency
looming, all of that. I have the almost the exact opposite feel of Dan Campbell really wants to run the ball, likes Lamar Miller. They were putting Ajayi in the red zone and not scoring, and so they fire the OC, and I think that he wants it to be the Lamar Miller show. So I don't know. I mean, really these are gut feelings, which we really like to base our stuff on film and on stats here, but you have to go with gut too. This is why I'm interested to watch this game, because what happens in this game, I think very much will determine the playoffs. What does it look like for Lamar Miller or Ajayi? We're going to see a glimpse of that this week. So
I'm personally excited to see Devontae Parker get some snaps starting in this game for the first time. What does the offense look like? Like you said, this is more of a fantasy curiosity game than it is, a great NFL matchup. But, the Schaub-Aiken combo isn't exactly something I get worked up about.
Right.
Not aching for it.
No, I mean, I've Aiken on my bench, and I'll probably never play him this year because, I mean, it's just hard to do. He's had 3 okay weeks.
You know what's never on my bench? Bacon.
It's
never
starting
on my
lineup.
bench. Absolutely.
Is that so? Breakfast food starting lineup.
Bacon.
Bacon's got to be first. Unless cereal can be. Nah, I'm still going bacon.
I would put bacon in my cereal.
Let me ask you this: would you just eat bacon for a breakfast?
100,000% yes.
Yeah.
I feel like bacon is great and should be eaten in mass quantity, but it's still part of a complementarian mindset to breakfast.
You know, until you've done it, you don't know. And I have absolutely done it. I've had a breakfast of bacon.
I lived the life. I walked the walk.
And let me tell you, there's no regrets. Okay? Not until I get my first heart attack will I stop eating bacon.
Until you've done it. You watch your mouth, son.
Yeah. I love the Dolphins.
Till you lived in my greasy shoes.
I love the Dolphins defense as a fantasy play this week.
High upside.
Yeah, I mean, what is the likelihood that they have a pick six for a touchdown in this game?
You got to put
like 50-50
You got to put it
odds?
50-50.
I mean,
With
so,
Matt Schaub. And so Buck Allen, for the people who they picked him up, he's a full start for me this week. Miami's rush defense has been hemorrhaging as of late, and I think he's a very strong play.
And to that point, the Ravens, I know we complained a little bit, you did, in the beginning of the year about Trestman not really involving the running back in the passing game enough to your satisfaction. As an owner, you probably wanted it about every play. But the Ravens are still one of the highest in the league with 28% of passes to the running back position. We saw that last week with Buck Allen getting some more of those dump-off passes. He's a quantity. I mean, I think his talent is there too. He's a young guy, but he's getting enough work to where he should be a viable start.
You lose your starting quarterback, your starting running back, and your star wide receiver. And the offensive coordinator, Trestman, coming in, is not going to just stick with the same system that wasn't his. He's going to say, I've got to manufacture offense, and it's going to go. That's why I love Buck Allen here. I think Buck Allen has a baseline of 4 receptions a game, and he could go higher than that.
You've seen him manufacture that too with the tight end position with Crockett Gilmore, with Juszczyk out of the backfield, with different mixing pieces and things like that. The offense has limited upside. Like you said, there's a reason why you kind of like streaming the Dolphins this week. I'm okay with that. I'm not all about it because I don't know. The Dolphins just, who knows how much they've given up, how much this season is in trouble, what the offense does. Tannehill can give points back, which counts against your defense, which is a problem. But, yeah, I like the idea of Buck Allen. Now put this in context. Buck Allen, David Johnson, Thomas Rawls, 3 of the big free agent signings over the last few weeks. So how do you like them rest of the season?
I love all those guys rest of season.
I guess rank them is more.
Okay,
it's more of the question.
Rank them. Honestly, I'm gonna put. I'm not looking at matchups, so I'm just thinking of offense right now, and because of that, I'm going to put David Johnson number 1. The Arizona Cardinals are the number 1 offense in the entire league. They score boatloads of points nearly every single week, and that David Johnson is the goal line back. He was the goal line back earlier. They kind of went away from that. They were not having success on the goal line. If you watched the San Francisco Cardinals debacle last week, you saw the Cardinals get about 18 plays inside the 5, and they were doing all sorts of different things till they finally said, screw this, David Johnson, run it in. And what did David Johnson do? He ran it right in because that's what he does. So he just has the highest opportunity to me to score a touchdown weekly. Second, I would go with Rawls just because he's the workhorse back. Fred Jackson will get some of that action catching the ball. Buck Allen is lowest because the offense is a lower-powered offense. We're still not exactly sure what the split will be with Terrence West, who surprised. He didn't have a ton of snaps, but when they snapped the ball with Terrence West in there, he ran it. That's his ratio of snap to getting a touch was very high. And was that just revenge game against Cleveland? We're not sure. So they're kind of a situation I need to monitor. I'm not going to let that dissuade me from playing Buck Allen at all this week, but that's how I would rank those 3 guys.
And I would put Rawls first. Rawls, I mean, you weren't looking into the schedules or the matchups. Rest of season, Rawls has a very nice, juicy playoff schedule all 3 winnable matchups. You've got him who's a workhorse.
Do you have those 3 up? I'm just curious. I can't remember the 3 matchups.
I can pull them up again here. They were pretty good. The only bad one was the Rams, which are not that good of a run defense. People are very scared about playing a guy against the Rams D, and the truth is, at the running back position, you're fine to play that. Thomas Rawls goes week 14 at Baltimore. They're okay. Cleveland.
That's great.
In week 15. And then St. Louis, like I just spoke of, in week 16. So I like Thomas Rawls. David Johnson's got a little bit tougher matchup the rest of the way.
David Johnson plays Minnesota, week 14, so that's a tougher one. Philadelphia, delightful. Arizona's going to score a ton of points. And then Green Bay, which you would have to put at a middle tier. So I guess it leans slightly to Rawls, but
yeah, I would go Rawls,
the thing
David
that
Johnson.
I like about Rawls is the 53% rushing attempts. Like that, they run more than anybody else in football. So, but yeah, they're all 3 I love, and all 3 could honestly outperform the other guy depending on whether they catch fire, they get goal line opportunities.
Well, and Rawls doesn't have anybody really cutting into his workload. We don't know yet with David Johnson, but I wouldn't be shocked if Kerwin Williams comes in or Stephon Taylor has
because
a lot
you don't
of
just
usage.
Necessarily if your Arians hand it off to the
Right, and we saw with Buck Allen.
There is risk with David Johnson. If Johnson comes out this week and fumbles, then there's troubles. There will be trouble, absolutely, if he puts the ball on the ground. But I'm going to believe that he won't. Maybe that's a little foolish because has a record this year of already fumbling a good bit. But it's just the opportunity for points is too great with Arizona.
I wanted to take a quick look at the Rawls snap counts from last week, and it was at 65%. So not through the roof, not out insane, but certainly getting the majority. All right, we're moving on. Bengals go to Cleveland, take on the Browns. Okay. Breaking news, not my almost upset of the week.
Yeah.
So I guess the questions here circle around, will Eifert play? And will Barnidge be the same type of tight end in terms of production with a different quarterback, Davis or Manziel?
I think he'll be better with Davis than he would be with Manziel. I'm not afraid of Barnidge, which I've been the one least on him. But the way that they run their offense, watching the Browns games recently, it's just he's super involved, and there's not a lot of other options. You've got Travis Benjamin and Barnidge as essentially the 2 main guys that soak up all the targets.
What about Dwayne Bowe, Mike?
Dude, I'm telling you, Dwayne Bowe, he's just getting ready. He's getting ready.
He's warming up.
He's gone. I've got it on good authority.
Hibernation?
Well, no, it's kind of like hibernation. It's one of those chambers that they use in like Dragon Ball Z, and they go in for the ultimate training. And Dwayne Bowe is going to emerge and just
is there
be a monster.
Pop culture vein that Mike is not aware of? I mean, does he know every?
Maybe the girl, like Jim and the Rockstars, is that big for you? Are you
truly outrageous?
Oh my goodness,
he's trouble.
He is
this
outrageous.
Guy's trouble. All right. Hey, one thing I do know about this game is that I love AJ Green.
Yeah,
AJ Green had a huge week last week. He's not going to let you down this week. The Browns give up multiple touchdowns to wide receivers 72% of the time, and AJ Green is a wide receiver. A pretty good one.
That statement had me very confused.
Well, I should have. It was meant to confuse for just a moment. The Browns also, believe it or not, they're not very good against the run.
Yeah, I was going to say we have I have instituted the NBA Jam methodology here of good game heating up on fire. Jeremy Hill is heating up. He is heating up to me.
So what is this? Jeremy Hill, Eddie Lacy, C.J. Anderson, disappointments abounding in the beginning of the year, and now maybe.
So last week against the Rams, he was
cold weather.
He was 16 for 86. The cold weather could have something to do with it. 16 for 86, his best yard per carry game of the season. He got knocked out with an ankle injury. For those who are monitoring his situation, he's not even on the injury report. He is practicing in full, so they don't. The Bengals don't consider it even. It's nothing. There's nothing wrong with his ankle. Hill is a guy I like. I like him this week. Against the Browns, like you said, they're just a horrific running defense, giving up hundreds of yards weekly. So Hill's a guy that I don't mind as an RB2 this week.
Passing touchdowns given up by the Browns over the last 3 weeks is 8.
That's
Wow.
8 passing touchdowns.
2 weeks.
Now you flip it to the other direction. You had Cincinnati gave up quite a bit to Arizona, but the defense has been stout otherwise. Is Travis Benjamin startable this week? Just kind of as the
Let me ask you this in
Benjamin
the same
Aiken.
game.
Oh, okay.
Would you rather start Travis Benjamin or Marvin Jones?
Marvin Jones.
Me too.
Man, it's probably Benjamin.
Very interesting.
Probably.
All right.